With tons of new anime coming out every season, it's pretty much impossible to remember every show you see. Some shows have more staying power than others. No matter how old they get, anime fans aren't likely to forget Neon Genesis Evangelion or Cowboy Bebop, but the same can't be said for Time of Eve or Pandora Hearts. Of course, that's not to say that these forgotten anime shows are bad. In fact, they're actually a delight, though they lack time in the spotlight. Just like obscure Nickelodeon shows, the anime on this list aren't the first series that come to mind when deciding which anime to recommend. Take a look at this list of older shows that slipped your mind and remember how good they were. Depending on your feelings about the anime in question, it will be a nostalgia trip, or it will remind you of why you forgot it in the first place. 1. Genshiken was an anime about a college anime/manga club. While you probably forgot about it due to the less than beautiful art style, it's worth a look. Why? Because unlike a lot of fictional anime clubs, the members of the Society for the Study of Modern Visual Culture has same mix of genuinely nice people and utter creepazoids that you find in actual college anime clubs. So, if you're feeling nostalgic for your own motley crew, rewatch Genshiken. 2. We wish more current isekai anime could be as dark and gritty as Now and Then, Here and There. An ordinary boy named Shu finds himself teleported to a strange desert world when he tries to save a mysterious girl named Lalaru. But this new world he finds himself in is cruel and unforgiving. Despite how it appears, this anime is quite mature and grim. Whether you're a first-time viewer or a rewatcher, be prepared for the feels. 3. Eve no Jiken, aka Time of Eve, interrogates whether there truly is a difference between artificial intelligence and human intelligence. While it's a genuinely well-made series, people often forget about it unless the concept of artificial intelligence crops up, in which case it's frequently recommended. Why is it so often forgotten? Perhaps it's because artificial intelligence technology is constantly evolving, and what seemed like eerily plausible science fiction in 2008 just doesn't have the same impact today. 4. Whether you enjoyed it or not, you've probably seen, or at least heard of Higurashi When They Cry. It's the one where a village of cute anime girls go on killing sprees. For whatever reason, Higurashi's sister series, Omaniko When They Cry, just didn't get the same traction. Maybe it's because the main characters were older and therefore less interesting to teenage fans. Or maybe it's just because seagulls aren't as dramatic as cicadas. Either way, the island murder mystery was forgettable, where the deep magic of Hinamizawa just wasn't. If you remember Higurashi but glazed over Omaniko, go back and give the latter a chance. If nothing else, the main characters are named Battler and Beato anime names that good don't show up very often. 5. While basically every anime fan has seen, or at least heard of Serial Experiments Lain, far fewer people remember Boogie Pop Phantom, which was designed and animated by some of the same people. Boogie Pop Phantom is a dark, atmospheric series about a mysterious figure named Boogie Pop who appears at night and disappears with those who meet her. Perhaps because it's confusing in the beginning and doesn't fully reveal itself until the end, it never got the rave reviews that other, similar series received, but it's one of those forgotten shows that's worth a second look. 6. El Hazard, The Magnificent World was a 1995 anime that could be rented on VHS from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, which means that younger anime fans may never have heard of it. It's often compared to Slayers and Tenchi Mayo, early fantasy anime that actually withstood the test of time. While the art is gorgeous, the plot is a formulaic one about being transported to another world and fighting monsters. The characters can come off as a bit flat, and the tone is inconsistent, careening from funny to serious so fast that it comes off as arbitrary. 7. Also known as that one yaoi anime that you watched whether or not you dug the genre, Gravitation was a decent show about an aspiring pop singer named Shuichi Shindu who falls in love with a novelist named Iri Yuki. Like most shows in the yaoi genre, the relationship dynamics were wildly unrealistic and kind of terrible, but you totally found yourself rooting for them when you watched this show at age 15. At the very least, the opening theme Super Drive has definitely been stuck in your head, and if it wasn't, it is now. 8. You know a show is forgotten when its setting is the Abyss, and it doesn't even come up in discussions of the 2017 hit Made in Abyss. It's the same name, but Pandora Hearts came earlier and never really picked up speed. This supernatural fantasy series tells the story of a wealthy 15-year-old heir named Oz Vesalius and his journey to understand the mysterious world of the Abyss. It's a decent show with some seriously compelling characters, but it came out around the same time as Black Butler, a far more popular series about a wealthy child heir dealing with inexplicable magical circumstances. So, if you want to know why no one remembers Pandora Hearts, blame Seal Phantom Hive and his hellish butler. 9. Hikaru no Go is what you get when you take all the nonsense out of Yu-Gi-Oh! And replace it with traditional Japanese culture and consistent character development. The titular Hikaru is possessed by a genius Go player from the Heian period. Together, they have to figure out how to be successful in the cutthroat world of competitive Go. It's a solid show, though slightly long, but doesn't get discussed much outside of conversations about game-based anime. 10. Hamtaro was one of those kids' shows that a ton of people saw alongside the more popular Pokemon, Digimon, and DBZ. The titular Hamtaro and his ever-expanding group of hamster friends get into all kinds of wacky and heartwarming adventures, making it perfect for kids ages 5 to 7. That said, there's not a lot of crossover appeal for adults, so you're less likely to remember it or dive back in when you do. 11. Chobits was a robot girl anime by Clamp that was oddly moving and philosophical if you ignored the fact that fit neatly into the born sexy yesterday trope. She is a Persicom, aka a computer, who looks like a human woman. She's unable to download information like other Persicoms, so her owner, Hideki, has to teach her about the world on his own. This mildly creepy concept might be part of why the show lacked staying power. Also, Persicoms can do a whole lot less than modern technology can, so they're not as impressive. That said, the character designs were adorable, and the theme song will definitely bring back memories. 12. When you think about Homunculus, you probably think about Fullmetal Alchemist, not Buso Renkin. Buso Renkin features a high school boy named Kazuki Muto, who dies saving a mysterious girl from a homunculus attack. She brings him back to life, but with one major change: his heart is now a Kokugane medallion, a powerful alchemical item that can destroy homunculi. This 2006 Xebec offering was pretty good, but it didn't leave a major impression on the anime world as a whole. 13. D.N.Angel is a show so forgotten that when you look it up on my anime list, the first result is actually Angel Beats. It's a 26-episode show about a mild-mannered middle schooler named Daisuke, who transforms into the charismatic art thief, Dark Mousy. Said thievery isn't just done for financial gain. For a complicated series of reasons, his stealing can save the world. While the show seems to have faded from people's memories, it had a unique storyline and a vibe reminiscent of Saint Seiya and Sailor Moon. 14. S.Cry.ed is one of those shows that most people have seen at least a couple episodes of, but didn't necessarily finish or remember. It's a decently animated show about a bizarre natural enclosure in the Kanazawa Prefecture, and a mercenary named Kazuma who must survive there. If you like characters who don't care about anyone or anything, including themselves, Kazuma might have stuck with you, but if you like your protagonists with a little more passion, maybe not so much. In addition, this cool action show might not have stood the test of time because most of the female characters are in subservient roles, a common issue with anime that fans are increasingly less willing to tolerate. 15. Outlaw Star is a show about space pirates, which is a concept that fans of anything from Cowboy Bebop to One Piece can get behind. That said, it's not a show that comes up often. While the characters are solid, the art is a bit dated, and there's more filler than should be present in a 24-episode series, which might explain why people tend to forget that its existence until prompted. 16. Wolf's Rain is a true gem that deserves more attention from the anime community. It follows the journey of Kiba, a lone wolf living in disguise among humans, and his search for the legendary gateway to paradise amid a barren dystopia. The action and fight sequences are impressive, but it's the emotional resonance of the series that sticks with viewers. And it's got an amazing OST composed by Cowboy Bebop's Yoko Kanno.